Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining us here on the Morning Woodward Show. I hope your weekend was as great as Jeff and Maddie's, and mine, of course. How are you all doing today?
I'm doing great.
We got a fun show today. Mock Draft Mondays. My goodness, top of the hour, 9 o'clock. I can't wait. I got to sneak, I got a sneak peek at Jeff's mock draft. I'm not gonna lie. Really liked it.
Dude,
I really liked it. He didn't trade again.
No.
I was kind of disappointed. I thought you were going to trade.
I'm going to save the trades for next Monday. I'm going to do an all-out trade
man.
draft
It's
next
your
Monday.
draft. You get fired. It's on you.
Yeah, I pay the consequences.
Oh, man. Let's get it started with, of course, the Detroit Lions. Rumor had it over the weekend, and it wasn't really just a rumor. The reports were the Cowboys are likely to part ways with Amari Cooper. Now, I don't know why the Lions have to be involved with it, but here we are on a Monday morning opening the show talking about should the Detroit Lions pursue Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to give my answer relatively quickly because I have no interest in this wide receiver. It's an absolute no for me. It's a hell no. It's a no, you couldn't pay me enough money in the world to put him on this football team. Now, why? Because, well, what is he going to cost? Anywhere from 15 to 18 million? And that's friendly? Okay, not interested.
Yeah.
Why when I'm going to be paying 2 first-round rookies, a second-round rookie, and then next year I have also 2 first-round rookies that I'm going to want to pay? Why? On top of the expiring contracts that you have coming up, Detroit is, 10 months away from really being in a good position in terms of the salary cap. And I'm not sure why the hell they would pursue a wide receiver who is, I don't want to call him inconsistent, but
you could call
he
him
has
that.
some duds.
Yeah,
He has a lot of dud games throughout the season. And that's not a number 1 wide receiver. He's a good wide receiver. He's a talented wide receiver. And he's a better fit for a team that's ready to contend, maybe. But I am not starting up the whole rebuild around Amari Cooper at wide receiver. And maybe I haven't communicated how important wide receivers are, but they're really important in today's NFL. And yes, Amari Cooper's 27 years old. But I'll pass. Not a fit for the Detroit Lions, Jeff.
Thank you. You know what? I'm so happy you said that. I went on Twitter yesterday, and I saw Lions Twitter talking about Amari Cooper, and everybody's getting excited. I get it. He's expected to be cut, but let me read you off the details of why he's being cut. The Dallas Cowboys are going to save about $16 million by cutting him, and they only take a cap hit about $6 million. But there's deeper problems in this than just what Adam said, because he spoke all the facts, but there's deeper things than that. Because the Cowboys this offseason have Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, and Dalton Schultz all on expiring deals, okay? And they're all expected to return. So what I'm getting from this situation is the Dallas Cowboys would rather re-sign those guys and keep 2 good tight ends in their offense with CD as the new number 1 than keep paying Amari Cooper what they're paying him. And I get, he's going to get a bigger deal somewhere else. That's just a fact. So whether it's, my favorite to land, it would be a team like the Patriots. I think that'd be a good fit. But for the Lions, to right now, to go out and pay Amari Cooper this early, and I get it, the team needs a wide receiver, but for Amari Cooper, I'm not paying, like Adam said, $15 to $18 million. That's what he's going to expect. He's not going to get paid $25 like he was in Dallas, but top-tier wide receiver money for a guy who's MIA half the season. Listen, I like Amari Cooper watching him from a distance, but to have him on the Detroit Lions, you know how frustrating that would be? To have a guy that one week can get you 10 catches for over 100 yards, and the next week gets you 2 catches for 14 yards. I'm good. And the bigger thing is, if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm thinking, why would I pay any money for a guy like that right now, this early, when you have first-round picks, you have all this draft capital, you're going to be able to address the wide receiver position. You can find a guy that you can kind of groom into an Amari Cooper. You don't got to go out and pay top dollar. What does Amari Cooper do for your team right now? Nothing. So I'll pass on him. I'm good.
In the last 2 seasons, Amari's played 31 of a possible 33 games. And this is where things get so interesting. He has 1,900 yards in 2 almost full seasons. 1,900. That means you're averaging roughly 940, 950 yards. What? For a guy who is a wide receiver 1, or at least he's paid and treated like one, what has he done? He's never topped 1,200 yards in his career, Jeff. In a single season. 1,200.
And he's been healthy.
I'm not asking for much.
Yeah.
1,200 yards he's never reached in his career in a single season. What the hell are we talking about here? Amari Cooper to the Detroit Lions. Oh, my God. Nothing makes me more... Like, I get it. You got to throw out the names. Oh, where could he go? Likely... Look, I like the Patriots suggestion you had. Just stay the hell away from Detroit. Detroit doesn't want you, Amari. It doesn't need you. And Detroit is in a position to walk away with potentially who knows, Mechie, Watson, depending where they want to take them. Mid-second, maybe in the third they go with a wide receiver, or maybe in the first round.
Never know.
Maybe in the first round they trade back and go for a wide receiver. Maybe in the first round, instead of trading back, they go edge and then they go receiver at 32, or maybe at 34. But the likely and most, I would say, cost-effective scenario is the Detroit Lions drafting a wide receiver. You guys have to remember something. In today's NFL, receivers come into the league, and if they're good, they produce. Why? Because the corners can't touch them. Why? Because all the rules are driven towards offensive production. The defense is always playing from behind. And wide receivers can produce. And in a league where wide receivers can produce, this guy has a 63% catch rate in his career.
Do you know he had 2 games last year only with 100 yards?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Believe me.
2 games.
He's never topped over 1,200 yards in his career. Duh.
Guys.
Here, let me put it into perspective, just so you guys understand, like, you know, the class that Amari Cooper is in.
Yeah.
When I bring up catch rate, you know, that is the percentage of catches you made on the targets thrown to you, right? Now, I'm just going to throw out Eric Ebron. He is a career 62.8 pass catcher. All right, that's his percentage. You know what Amari Cooper is, Jeff? Do you want to know?
Around that same number, I'm guessing.
63.2.
Oof.
He is 0.4 percentage points better than Eric freaking Ebron. And now, Adam, why does catch rate matter? He produces touchdowns, yards. Yeah. How many times do I have to throw him the ball for him to produce?
There you go. Bingo.
Now, I'm going to point to one rookie, all right? And, you know, you guys can say, well, Adam, you know, he's one of the best rookies we've seen come out, you know, at least statistically, in really NFL history. But Justin Jefferson, he was damn near 70%. Look, I'm not asking for 70, 75. Look, I get it. You know, volume targets for your best receivers. But it's kind of concerning when you're not even a deep threat like a Jamar Chase, who I can kind of be okay with, given that he's at a 63% catch rate. But, oh, wait, a lot of his targets are deep balls, right? And those are highly contested, very difficult. Dude, Amari Cooper is a 10 to 15 yard in and out
route technician.
That's his game.
Yeah.
And you're at 63%. Come on. That's a rough go for me, man. Hard pass on Amari Cooper. I'm not interested. I don't think Brad Holmes is. I don't think, and I'm glad Detroit Lions, at least, you know, the fans across social media were very I would say, you know, in a lockstep. They were all on the same page. Like, no. Some made the case, oh, he's only 27. Oh, he could be your number 1 wide receiver. Oh, you can shut the hell up. That's never going to happen. No one is interested. That is the worst football decision this football team could make.
It is.
By the way, speaking of the Detroit Lions, I believe Taylor Decker got married over the weekend. Shout out to Taylor Decker. Congratulations.
Expiring deal this year.
Jeff will be married soon. I don't know if you guys are aware.
Yep.
Are you?
No. I got a tan though. Went to Florida.
You did go to Florida.
That is the big things happening in my life.
Jeff is so well paid.
No,
this guy can just fly to Florida on a weekend.
Went on my private jet.
Live his life. Went on his private jet. He comes back here to all of us peasants here on Monday. Good morning, everybody.
I took Adam's private jet. Don't let him fool you.
Oh, man. Well, listen. How Jeff acquired all that money is, I think, very obvious. He was betting on MyBookie.
There you go.
Guys, MyBookie, your premier sports betting outlet for all your sports betting needs. MyBookie. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. Sign up today using code Woodward. They'll match your deposit dollar for dollar. You put in $50, they'll give you $50. You put in $100, they'll match it with $100. Guys, check out MyBookie. And if you do have a gambling problem, please call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What do you get when you mix fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken with our savory signature sauces? The best damn wings you've ever had. Wing Snob Traditional Wings. Try our Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. And we toss them to perfection. When your wings are this good, it's easy to be a snob. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
And a miraculous catch.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, the Pistons have won their last 2 games.
Yeah.
They play tonight. Do you think they're starting to find some type of stride?
Jeff?
I mean, they're playing great basketball. They won 5 out of the last 7. And honestly, unselfish basketball, if you've been watching. I mean, it starts with 2. It starts with Cade. Over the last 25 games, Cade Cunningham, this is his averages, 17, 5, and 5. But do you know how many free throws he's averaging during that stretch? 2. 2 freaking free throws. Imagine if the guy actually got calls. I mean, we talk about this all the time, me and Adam. He'd easily clear 20 points, and we probably wouldn't be having as much of a debate about who is the best rookie among, all NBA fans. But nonetheless, that Marvin Bagley, another guy I got to bring up because he's been a big addition. I know he hasn't been healthy, and you like to see him play more, but still, over the last 5 games with Detroit, he's given us a solid 13-6, over 50% from the field. So he's bringing this team a much-needed size. I think the chemistry is one thing, and Jeremy Grant, Saddiq Bey, and Cade finding a way to play together, them kind of establishing themselves as I like to call the medium 3. It's been beneficial. Now, I get it, Pistons fans, and not even just guys on Twitter and everybody, me included, I get worried because you see them start to win games and you start to think to yourself, are they going to win their way out of the top 3, top 4? But this is what's great about the NBA is because they have the lottery. And the Pelicans got the number 1 pick a couple years back when they landed Zion. They had a 6% chance to get that pick, and they landed the number 1 pick. So in the NBA, trying to lose, like the Lions in the NFL isn't really the same thing. I like when the Pistons are playing great basketball, especially this young team. They need stretches like this. You can't keep, getting blown out and losing 5, 6 in a row. So winning 5 out of the last 7 is a positive sign. They got to continue to grow together, and Dwayne Casey's getting these guys to play great basketball. I think he deserves a little bit of credit, even though you kind of question some of his rotations at times. But Cade's been playing well. Last couple games, he's been in 20 points or above, so you can't really complain with what you're seeing. Great basketball. I know there's the Pistons fans being torn between losing and winning, but like I said, if you have the right guy in place, which you do in Troy Weaver, in terms of identifying talent, whether you're picking third or fifth or even 6th, I think we'll be just fine. I ain't too worried about it. But I think the beneficiary of it is, if you're a Pistons fan, you're getting to watch a team just beat good teams. They beat the Pacers, who have looked pretty good ever since they acquired Tyrese Halliburton. So impressive wins. They're playing good basketball. Can't really complain too much, Adam. I can't even lie. Jeremy Grant's decided to pass the ball more. Like a lot of things are happening that I didn't think would happen. So can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, look at the game against Indiana. I mean, Jeremy Grant only scored 8 points.
Yeah.
He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He was kind of like, just a guy doing a little bit of everything to help the team, and I kind of like that version of Jeremy Grant.
We've been
I
asking
like
for
the
it.
guy that doesn't chuck up 20 shots a game, that thinks he's Michael Jordan. I can get down with that. Marvin Bagley, 18 points, Cade 20, and of course Saddiq Bey, as always, leading the way in points. I mean, he's been unbelievable.
Balling.
He's been playing at such a high level. My concern with the Detroit Pistons now is, how does a top lottery pick fit in with this team? I don't have an issue with them playing well, winning games. They're 17-47. They're still a bottom 3, bottom 4 team. Mm-hmm. Who knows how the lottery plays out? There's no guarantees. But how are you going to fit a top 5, top 6 pick at worst into this basketball team? I like Marvin Bagley, and I would definitely want to keep him over Jeremy Grant.
I'd agree with you.
I like Killian Hayes. I don't mind the Corey Joseph swap, but who are you drafting? If you draft a big man, Well, you're going to have to really figure out what you're doing with Jeremy Grant. And if you draft a point guard, well, I don't think you're going to do that. So I think it's power forward or center.
Or two guard, too. Someone to play next to Cade. I think that's a realistic option.
Yeah, I guess you can move Cade to the 1. But, again, Killian. What are you doing with Killian Hayes?
Yeah.
Are you committed to him being a 6-7 on the bench? Because he's not going to start.
Might not.
And maybe that's the best role for him. And maybe that's like where, I truly believe he can reach his ceiling at least. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think he's a full starter, at least not yet. He's not a 35, 36-minute-a-night guy. Could be one day, just not right now. That is my question, is how does this team look like with the top draft pick? I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't see where they're going. Jeff, I'm really trying to envision what this team looks like by February of next year. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. Jeremy Grant going to be gone? I hope so.
Yeah, ideally.
Would like to keep Bagley. He's young. And not only is he young, boy, does the pick and roll look nice when him and Cade run it. That's my concern.
Yeah. I think it's a realistic concern. With this team specifically, listen, next year you're probably they're expected to re-sign Bagley, hopefully. Great piece. Jeremy Grant, I'm hoping he is dealt in the offseason. Listen, I like Jeremy, but you can get something for him. And you got to look at the draft. The top 3 forward / centers are going top 3, top 4. You have Paulo, Jabari, and then Chet. After that, talented guards. I mean, you have guys, Johnny Davis from Wisconsin. You have, drawing a blank, Jay Nivey out of Purdue. So those guys, I could see him playing next to Cade. So it really, because you have Corey Joseph. I mean, right now playing 40 minutes a night, 35 minutes, which is kind of like a filler spot because they don't really have a true 2 guard to play next to Cade. It's kind of just Hamidou Diallo, but you can't play him next to Cade because he can't really shoot. And then you have Killian, who plays best off the bench because he can kind of run with that second unit. They need someone who can be just a bucket at 2 guard or get a 4 to replace Jeremy Grant. I'm good with either one. That's why I don't really have a problem with them winning games because, listen, if you fall out of that top 3, you go to, let's say you fall to 4, you're still getting a Jaden Ivey. You're still getting a Shaedon Sharpe, whoever you get. You're still getting an extremely talented basketball player, most likely not one of the top 3 guys that are, forward 7-footers. But, again, the plan, I want to see a plan, and hopefully in the offseason towards the draft, they do make a move. They trade Jeremy. Because if you're keeping him around and he's here for next year, what are you doing? He's going to let him walk? Or you're going to trade him? One of the two, because you're not extending him. At least I hope. You're not giving him a $100 million contract. So I think the direction that we're going to see maybe will come towards in the offseason. I'm hoping that maybe you get a deal for Jeremy, you draft who you want to draft, Jay Nivey, Johnny Davis, and then we can kind of see where this team's going. But right now, you just got a bunch of young talent on a team, and they're just kind of figuring it out, it looks like.
And then there's this 27, 28-year-old forward that chucks up anywhere from 15 to 18 shots a game.
There's one guy that stands out, yeah.
Look, Sadiq Bey's playing very well. I don't think anybody can complain about him. Killian Hayes, I know it's frustrating, Detroit, but you know what? Every team needs a role player. And I think he can be a pretty good role player.
Yeah.
Is it frustrating that he was the number 7 overall pick? Sure. But you don't need a team full of superstars. You need guys like a Drew Holiday willing to put in the work for a Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. And if maybe that is Killian Hayes' ceiling, but maybe not as dynamic offensively, okay, I think you're willing to take that. That is your optimistic outlook, really, on the Detroit Pistons. And when I look at Cade Cunningham, I don't know how I feel about a bucket at 2. That's Sadiq Bey. And Cade needs to probably play the 1.
Yeah.
And then Diallo is like that athletic 3, but he doesn't shoot.
Yeah, most likely you're.
So he's just a D and really an athletic and D guy. It's
like your 6-man, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. He's not coming in and getting you 8 to 12 points a night. Some nights he'll go off, but I mean, very inconsistent, doesn't have a steady jump shot yet. Jeremy Grant, I don't expect to be a part of this basketball team in the long-term future, you hope. So again, he always points us back to the draft. What's your priority, Detroit, this offseason? And yeah, again, they can win games. It does affect their chances, whether you want to have that conversation or not. It does affect their chances of having a top pick. And if they're winning these games and they end up with the 5th or 6th pick, well, you know what? That kind of sets them back. Because they're missing out on probably two of the best prospects in this draft.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
They're missing on 2. One could be a bust. One could fall. And do you trust Troy Weaver to find a Giannis at 13? Yeah, you do. He found Saddiq Bey, who's turning into a really damn good player. Mm-hmm. But boy, picking 5, 6, or 7 in this year's class, it's going to be a tough position.
It's tough.
And you got to be careful. You got to be careful. I don't know what this basketball team looks like, man.
You know what makes me feel better? It makes me, sleep better at night, knowing that if we do pick 6, 7, 8, whatever it is, we don't have Stan Van Gundy selecting that guy.
I'm not worried about that.
I
Don't
like
get
who
me
we
wrong.
have. Missing Donovan Mitchell, going Luke Kennard, going Stanley Johnson over Devin Booker. Hopefully we don't have any of those moments in the near future. But yeah, I agree with you. Whether you want to admit it or not, winning does put you out of the race for one of those generational guys, top 3. But
again, what are you doing with the draft? And I'm asking the question because I think we all know, but that could change very quickly given the lottery results, which you don't control.
Yeah.
You can lose all your games and still pick at number 6. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Pistons have a very interesting offseason ahead of them. Honestly, Jeff, I'm really excited. I really like Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be an excellent role piece. But the Jeremy Grant that dynamic needs to be figured out. They'll probably trade him before the deadline. But again, do you want to waste the first 35, 40, 45 games of your upcoming lottery rookie who you'd like to get 26, 30 minutes a game? I don't know. I don't know what Troy Weaver's going to do. I'm super interested to find out, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me as well.
My last question for you, Jeff, before we get to break is when we talk about the Detroit Pistons down the stretch, our conversations earlier were always about, well, you want to see them playing better basketball, right? And they're starting to do that.
And win, yeah, both.
They're definitely starting to do that. What is the ideal outcome for the Detroit Pistons down the stretch where you look at a coach like Dwayne Casey, who has not won a lot of games here, obviously, and you say, you know what? He's developing the players. The rotations are looking better. Feeling good going into year 3.
That's bingo right there. I think the rotations is one because although the Pistons are winning, you're starting to see guys like Killian blossom a little bit, Marvin Bagley play better, and that's all I ever wanted. Weeks ago I said this, I want the Pistons to play great basketball, even if they're, they lose. I want the big 3, the medium 3, the schmedium 3 to at least play well, and they've been doing that. So I can't really complain with what I'm seeing. The results, maybe, yeah, you like to see wins. You don't want them to win too much. But really, it does start with player development. And as long as Killian and those guys are continuing to grow, you can kind of put the credit on Dwayne Casey, of course. Those guys are getting better. They can go into the offseason feeling confident. Maybe they beat a couple good teams. I think what will really be a morale killer is going on like a 6-game losing streak before the season ends. You really don't want to see things like that. You want to see them compete night in and night out, kind of like last year where they kind of finished off on a good note, but they still got the number 1 overall pick. It was like a for sure successful season, including the offseason. So I want to see something similar. Have them challenge good teams, continue to maybe steal some from good teams, but you got to lose some games. Don't forget that, Pistons. We still need a top 4, top 3 pick. So as long as they do that, I'm okay with it. And Cade Cunningham continues to play how he's playing. I mean, he's putting up about 20 points over the last couple games. So give me all the production I'm seeing, and we'll tie it all back together. As long as the Pistons can land that top 3 pick, baby, I'll be happy. I'll be all good.
All right, guys. Well, we got to go to break. When we come back, we're visiting the NFL Combine that happened this weekend. But before we go, we do need to hear about Planet Fitness.
All right, guys. Planet Fitness, the official studio sponsor of the Woodward Sports Network. Happy to have them on board. Planet Fitness, your fitness is essential workout in a judgment-free work environment. Guys, there's no better place. I go there 5 days a week. Really good for my mental, physical health. Can't stress it enough. Being able to release whatever stress you have going on in your life, work, personal, doesn't matter. Planet Fitness is the place to be. I can't stress that enough. Be sure to visit them at planetfitness.com and get signed up today. $0 down, $10 a month. Take advantage of their current offer and tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
All right, guys. Well, Jeff got his tan on this weekend, but Adam and I are still left over here looking pretty pale. So we got to go to Chili Peppers Tanning. There's no better place to go. You'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals, and they beat your competitors by $5. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty lotions. Chili Peppers Tanning has the hottest bobs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. I definitely need to get me one of those. All right, guys, the NFL Combine happened this weekend. Who are our biggest winners and losers?
Oh, I'm going to start with a good friend of mine out of the University of Maryland. Boy, my man. Nick Cross, safety out of Maryland, recorded the fastest 40 time of all safeties. Obviously, he hit a home run. Underclassman, young kid, really showed out. I think he really pushed himself into the conversation of maybe being a late second-round pick. Depends what site you look on, obviously, right now. But he's projected anywhere from the 3rd to 4th round. I definitely see this guy as probably a late second-round pick, early third-round pick right now. He did himself really, really well. 6'1", 212 out of Maryland. I mean, he was 3rd in broad jump, 4th in vertical, 1st in, obviously, the 40 time, like I mentioned earlier. It's just a tough competitor. Love the kid. Love the kid out of Maryland. Again, when we talk about the safety position, you can find value. Mm-hmm. A safety like Cross, a safety like Monday maybe in the 3rd, 4th round. That's value. And they are just as fast, if not physically equipped, as the top safety, obviously, that everyone is talking about in Cal Hampton. Jeff?
Oh, well, we'll stay on the speedster category because I'm sticking with Trayvon Walker, a guy who graded as a 9.99 at the Combine. That's Myles Garrett numbers, which is incredible, near perfect. Ran a 4.51 in the 40. He's built different, and people don't talk about this enough. He's bigger, he's longer than both Aiden and Kayvon Thibodeau. He's 6'5", he's got longer arms, bigger wingspan, and he played in obviously a talented defense in Georgia. But still, Trayvon Walker, projected top 10, top 15 pick. I think he earned himself right into that top 10. I think he had a great combine, showed how athletic he is for how big he is. And listen, that guy, he's going to be a problem in the NFL. So give me one of the winners for this weekend, Trayvon Walker.
Give me the kid out of Detroit, Sauce Gardner.
Oh, I had him too.
Sauce Gardner showed up. Look, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Love that he went to every single interview in a suit. I mean, the kid just is showing his character. A 4.4, 140, excellent time, 6'3", 79 and 3/8 wingspan. The kid's going to be a good corner in the NFL, and there's going to be a team that is going to be very fortunate and lucky to have him. Yeah, he's only 190 pounds. So what? You're going to an NFL team that is going to provide you with some of the best nutrition plans in the world available. He'll be just fine. He'll be able to go up to 205, 210 probably. He'll be just fine. I think he's going to be a great kid. Love his mentality. Doesn't want to allow a single touchdown in his NFL career. Lofty goals, but I think he's going to be very good. I thought he showed out at the Combine.
Yeah, and honestly, I might as well say the winner is Kirby Smart because we'll just keep going through this Georgia defense over the Combine. Every one of those guys won the Combine. So I'll start with another one, Jordan Davis. What in the hell did I witness over the weekend? This guy is 6'6", well over 300 pounds, and he had the second quickest 40-yard dash, 4.78. He had the second highest vertical, 32 inches among defensive tackles, and he had a broad jump of about 10 inches, first among defensive tackles. So just to give you a kind of and just put it in perspective, he was faster than half the quarterbacks who ran, okay? He had a higher vertical than 13 running backs, and his broad jump was 11 inches better than the man who came in second place. So this guy, at his size, I don't think anybody was denying it. Now you see those conversations, how high can Jordan Davis go? And I think it's absolutely credible because the guy is going to be an absolute run stopper in the NFL. You have times about his ability to get to the quarterback, but other than that, he's a first sure hit if you draft him anywhere. So give me Jordan Davis. He showed out.
Well, let's talk about the guy that was shadowed by Jordan Davis really this entire season, who is Devontae Wyatt.
Yeah.
He also showed out. And not only him, Trayvon Walker showed out.
What the hell's going on?
The Georgia defense showed up to the NFL Combine. I love that he said Kirby Smart was the winner. You're damn right he is. That's why they were the best team in college football. That's why they were the best team in college football. My goodness, the Georgia defense across the board, they showed out. All of them really hit top-tier metrics. Good for all of them. Damon Clark at LSU, I thought, had a good combine.
I liked him for a while.
It wasn't, look, speed concerns, whatever it may be. I think he'll be fine. The linebacker position is all about your ability to understand what play is developing, right? And when you identify it, how quickly are you to react and hit the gap or drop back into coverage? That is your responsibility as a linebacker. Obviously, sideline to sideline, but I think he won a little bit. I thought his stock improved. I thought the linemen all are home runs. They all showed out. Evan Neal showed out. The kid out of NC State, I really don't want to botch his name, but Ekwonu. I'm excuse my English, not that great, clearly. But look, Evan Neal, you're gonna see what you're gonna get out of Evan Neal at his pro day. He wasn't at the combine, but I thought this kid really showcased why maybe not a lot of people are talking about him going #1 overall. But again, you have to look at Evan Neal and how he carries 340 pounds. And Jeff, it's kind of ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous. And I want to address this as well. Like, we understand the edge rushers. They got their measurements. And for Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson, I know the conversation was brought up again because Aiden Hutchinson was measured before he did all the drills that he absolutely crushed. They measured his wingspan. They measured his arm length. And he had a 33-inch, I believe, wingspan or arm length, which is like an inch under the average for edge rushers in the NFL, but obviously he stood at a solid 6'6", 6'7". So, Adam, can I ask you this quick question? Just explain to the people why, looking at a prospect like that and seeing he has an inch shorter wingspan, is it as concerning as maybe people are just looking out to be or talking about it? Or is it something you just kind of look at and you say, listen, if he's a good player, he can play football.
Let me put it this way. There's no science to identifying a good football player. Aaron Donald didn't fit all the prerequisites for your prototypical Hall of Fame lineman, okay? There's guys that are just able to break the mold through their work ethic and their innate ability to be able to react, proactively play the position. And when we talk about arm length, is it nice to have longer arms? Yeah, sure. But it clearly didn't stop half of these players from producing in college. Especially the #1 rated end coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he has the same... Oh, wait. Doesn't he have the same arm length as TJ Watt?
See,
there's no science to this. And it's the same thing with quarterbacks, right? Oh, he's got the arm strength. He's 6'4". Oh, my goodness, 230 pounds. I couldn't have found a better prototypical quarterback. All right, fine, but that doesn't mean he's going to be successful. Like... There's no science to it. If there was, everybody would make the right decision in the draft.
Yeah.
You can have all the tools, all the moxie, the looks, the speed, the length, and you still don't make it in the NFL.
And not to forget, I think Penei Sewell has about an inch shorter than the average tackle. So how did that work out for him? He's still moving guys. He's a unit. So one more winner I do want to mention, and someone that I was very shocked by. I don't know how high he's going to go, but Amari Barno out of Virginia Tech.
That's a good one, man.
He ran a 4.36 as a 6'6" edge rusher. Oh, my God. Incredibly fast, obviously, and the production's there. I'm not going to give too much away, but he may be featured in my mock draft later. That's how much I liked him. But yeah, 4.36, a 37-inch vertical jump, all right, which is incredible. This guy's incredibly athletic. He weighs 250, and he's doing all this. So I think that's another guy that kind of boosted his stock coming in. He's a senior, so coming into the combine, not really being talked about.
Can I show some love to a quarterback I really believe didn't get enough attention this weekend? Desmond Ridder.
Yeah. They asked him to change positions. Do you see that too?
Yeah, I don't know how truthful that report is. I know Lamar Jackson came out and kind of gave the the what the F, race card. Look, if they asked Desmond Ridder to change positions, they probably shouldn't have a job in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I think that's regardless of the point. I thought he was actually the best quarterback over the weekend. I thought he was the most consistent. I thought he really handled, I would say, expectations pretty well. I thought he showed out. He showcased his speed. You're not questioning his athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
Made some good throws. Does he have a rocket arm like a Malik Willis? No. Not required. It's not always about, the appealing. Again, guys, if there was a science to it, you would hit on every quarterback.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Now,
You're right.
a Malik Willis, and, I don't want to discredit him or discount him or count him out from now, but, a guy like that with all the athleticism, all the arm strength, that doesn't mean it's going to work or he's going to work. Even if he has great character. Look at Justin Fields. Great character guy. Decent arm strength. How's it going in Chicago? Where are you? I mean, there's so many factors into this. I mean, I could spend all day really talking about this. But I thought Desmond Ridder really put on a good show. And you know what, Jeff? If I'm a team and I'm looking for a quarterback and he's sitting there towards the end of the second, early third, I might trade up if I'm not there.
Yeah.
Definitely in the third round, I'd be willing to trade up and grab a Desmond Ridder if he's available.
100%.
You got to look. It's okay to take a chance on quarterbacks and miss, but you're not allowed to miss when you select them number 2 overall. Do you not understand where this is going? You can't take a Malik Willis, a Matt Corral number 2 overall if you're Detroit, or any of these guys, and think, oh, we can get away with it if he doesn't work out. No, you can kind of get away with it at the end of the first round, maybe the second round, third round, sure. But you don't get away with drafting a quarterback that high and it not working out. You've basically invested your future into that kid. Don't believe me? Mitchell Trubisky and Matt Nagy, hell, they won the division together. They had a winning record together. Both are no longer with that team. It doesn't matter. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what the Lions do with the quarterback position. I almost drafted one in my mock draft. Almost took him in the 7th round.
Oh, I know.
But then I hate Notre Dame so much, so I couldn't take him.
Hey, that was me too. Jack Cohn. I looked him right in the face and I said, you know what? The memes that would come tomorrow if I took this man in the 7th round, I'll pass on it. I took someone better.
Is there anybody that you think lost? I don't want to call them a loser, but, it's the winners and losers, to be fair. But who's the loser from the weekend you thought didn't perform? For me, one stood out, and it kind of hurts because I really like him. Treylon Burks. It wasn't the best. It didn't kill him.
I know.
He may be a 2nd round pick now instead of a 1st, but he has his pro day to kind of make up for everything. But who was a loser this weekend, Jeff, that stood out to you? You're like, man, I was expecting more, and you really underdelivered.
I think no one from the edge rushers, really. They were all incredibly athletic. I think it starts with the wide receivers. Treylon Burks is a good one. For me, it's David Bell. And that's personally because I had maybe high expectations for him. I know a lot of people questioned his athleticism going into the combine. And listen, he can run most routes on a route tree. That's not really the question. The question is, how do you look in the combine? And it is based off athleticism. He ran like a 4.6, I think, 40. Didn't have a very high vertical. He's not really a guy that's going to, jump up and grab contested balls, but he's a guy that, you draft on your team. Maybe he falls to the 2nd, 3rd round, but he could run most routes on a route tree. He can just get open. Big body, 6'2", but still, that's kind of someone I was a little disappointed in. I thought his stock would increase at the combine especially, but again, if athleticism isn't there, teams are looking at that, you're bound to fall. So David Bell would probably be my loser. Not really anybody from the edge rushers. They all looked like freaks of nature. And then the cornerbacks, you had a cornerback, I think, Kalen Barnes out of Baylor, ran like a 4.22.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
How do
It's
we
ridiculous.
feel? How do we feel about the wide receiver class? I thought most of them were excellent outside of Bell and Burks, but Christian Watson raised his ceiling, or his value, I should say.
Calvin Austin, too.
Sky Moore, Calvin Austin out of Memphis. There were some really good guys. Again, it's a deep class again, so we have to get into that conversation. Well, do you take 2 edge rushers in the 1st round, and then you go wide receiver? And then you go wide receiver maybe in the 3rd again? Mm-hmm. Or maybe you go linebacker at 32, linebacker at 34. Who knows? Depends who's available. Maybe you get a linebacker at the end of the first or in the early second. Or maybe you don't address that till the third round. But the Detroit Lions, I believe, are going to have an opportunity to not only get an edge rusher at 2, but to get an edge rusher at 34 or 32 who could be as good as the guy at number 2, depending on which one they select. Obviously, I feel really good about the kid out of San Diego State, but that's just, my personal love and affection for the kid. My belief. But Detroit's going to be able to walk away with at least 4 starters in this draft. And I think it's got to be edge, linebacker, receiver. And again, Nick Cross is projected to go in the 4th round. Well, there's your safety, and you can still sign Tracy Walker at I think, a friendly contract.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to go after the kid out of New Orleans, Williams. You're not going to go for that safety. He wants too much money. And do you want to pay a safety that kind of money? No, you don't. Same thing with Amari Cooper. Why would I draft an Amari Cooper when I can get a receiver at 32 who will be much more cost effective? I can get the 5th-year option on the wide receiver. And I can get a guy who's probably going to be productive in the NFL if I play my cards right. But one more guy I thought, Jeff, was an absolute home run, absolute winner. Chris Olave.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, even Garrett Wilson, the kids out of Ohio State really showed up. There's going to be some lucky teams in the top 14 that are going to grab those guys. They really are. I truly believe 6 to 8 wide receivers will go in the first round.
It's possible. What Drake London, Olave, Wilson, it'll just keep going at that point. I mean, Treylon Burks, yes, he didn't have the greatest combine, but still, second round, someone's going to want him. He's still a beast. A lot of teams are going to have to go back and look at the tape because.
Can I ask all of you a question before we hit the break?
What's up?
How do you feel if I were to tell you, based on position, all right, it doesn't matter who, but if I told you with pick 2, 32, and 34, the Detroit Lions went, let's say, edge, wide receiver, edge, linebacker, or linebacker edge in that order, with the first 4 picks. How do you feel about that?
I'm good.
What's the reaction of 2 edge rushers with the first 4 picks? I think that you kind of have to do that. Because if you don't plan on bringing back Charles Harris, Detroit, I think you have a lot of upside getting 2 edge rushers, I would say, in the first 34 picks.
Especially in this draft.
Especially in this draft. I really do believe you're going to have the opportunity to select a really talented edge rusher at 34, if you so choose to. But I want to know what you guys think at home. If I told you that out of the first 4 picks, 2 of them were an edge rusher, and the other 2 were a wide receiver and a linebacker, how are you feeling going into round 4, round 5? What does that look like? Because in round 4 or 5, I could argue you can go out and grab a safety. I could argue you go out and grab another wide receiver. It just depends, again, how the board maps out. Look, we're going to do mock drafts at 9 o'clock. Believe me, I am so excited. But the thing with these mock drafts we need to understand is how likely are these people to fall, right?
There you go.
Because there could be scenarios where they go top 50 and then they're available for me at 66.
Right.
So take these mocks obviously with a hint of salt, or a pinch of salt, excuse me. Take them with a pinch of salt, but also kind of try to find the trend, the value. What am I getting that's valuable to the Detroit Lions? And at 9 o'clock, we're going to deep dive into Jeff and I's mock drafts. I am very excited for it. Jeff, I traded. Full disclosure. Mm-hmm. And not only did I trade, I didn't select in the top 10.
Oh,
That's all I'm giving away.
This is going to be good.
But let me tell you, boy, did I finesse the later round picks. I got some futures, and then I took those future picks that I got, and I traded up in the draft. So I have a lot of second-round picks. I had some fun. Figured I'd have some fun. PFF, very, very aggressive as a simulator in terms of trades. I mean, you can basically make a trade with about anyone. But I will say they've done a much better job than all the others. Because, for example, in certain simulators, I can go get the 5th and 7th overall pick just for the second pick. On PFF, that's not a thing, right? You're getting a first and maybe a second.
Right.
So I appreciate a little bit more realistic trade odds. But, Maddie, we got to go to break. When we get back, we got to get into some college basketball, a little bit of a weekend recap, and then, obviously, at 9 o'clock, Mock Draft Monday. I'm so excited.
It's go time. Well, before we go, we do need to hear about the Fulling Warehouse, please.
Yes, well, the Fulling Warehouse, home of the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, and it's also the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Host your corporate party, team building event, or you can just come in with your family and friends. They have 2 ways to play. Very fun. $10 unlimited open play, or a private lane reservation for $120 for up to 10 people for 2 hours. They have over 100 different beers. They also have their $2 mystery beer machine that our guy Sawyer knows very well. And they also have multiple full bars. You bring the food or have it delivered in. Come get your full on. Check it out at fullingwarehouse.com.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down.
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires. Hits.
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it.
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Centron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over. Anything can happen in March.
Back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. As I saw this tweet a little bit earlier, so we know LeBron James dropped 56 points the other night, which is incredible. Matthew Stafford was sitting courtside. He had walked by him and said, "Oh, I can't have you in the building and not put on a show," which I thought was hilarious. But then Cooper Kupp tweeted and was like, "Rams sitting courtside for the Lake Show seems to be working, ... I'm ready if needed to take one for the team, too."
Yeah, I think they're 2-0. They got Aaron Donald showing up. They
Yep.
won. Matthew showed up. LeBron drops freaking 56 at age 37. So, hey, man, just keep showing them up. I think they got 52 spots in that roster. Just keep sending them. Maybe the Lakers can make the playoffs.
Right?
I mean, seriously, at this point.
They're going to make the playoffs. I mean, they're the 7th seed right now. They'll be just fine. Look, again, LeBron is fantastic.
Yeah, 37.
Great night.
Give him credit, man.
Great night.
Age
The guy
a
is
fine wine.
playing at a level nobody his age has ever played. I just wish he would retire. I'm so sick of him. I really am.
But you know what's crazy?
It's hard to appreciate him.
I
It
know.
really is. Like, he's 20 assists away from 10,000. All right, so he's going to get that.
He's closing in on Karl Malone.
Like, I'm tired.
Second
I'm
all
tired.
time.
LeBron's been around since 2004. I'm tired.
Well, you're going to get him for at least another 2 years, 2 or 3 years. He wants to play with his son.
God damn it.
Yeah, I was
We're
tired
going
of Tom
to the
Brady for
league.
a while, too. So
Yeah, see, I didn't get tired of Tom Brady.
I did.
Because he was never in the media every single day being stroked over. You just acknowledged that he was the best ever, and you accepted it and you moved on. With LeBron, I feel like I have to have this conversation every single day.
I know.
Especially in national media. Drives me nuts. Jesus Christ.
I love LeBron, but he is a little extra. Like, he went over
A
to
little?
Matthew. He went over to
Most
Matthew.
basketball players are, though.
I gotta show out with you in the building. Like, come on, dude. I love you, LeBron, but
Most basketball players are. I mean, he tried to make the Super Bowl about himself.
yeah,
He just makes it so difficult. And
I
look,
know.
I really, truly believe he is a top 2. And
Yeah.
whether you want him 1 or 2, I don't care. That's up to you guys. He truly has earned that right with all the points, all the rebounds, all the assists, all the accolades, MVPs, finals. Totally deserves it. But I am so tired of talking about him. Like, I don't get tired talking about Isaiah Thomas. I don't get tired talking about Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, even Magic Johnson.
But
With
they
LeBron,
played
I
in
just
a-
feel like I'm ready to.
They played in a time where it was more about the team.
And also a time with no social media. So
That's
Yeah, but
also fair.
I'm not even a
That's also
social
fair.
media guy, so like I don't get phased by that.
But you said the media stroking them. Like that's
well,
what
I mean
it
the
is.
TV, the newspapers. Do I have to go
But
old
again,
school
it's
on you
such an
guys?
individual sport at this time that
I
it's
understand,
like,
but it was always an individual sport. Maybe
sure, but it was more like a team factor.
to an extent, you look at Milwaukee, they won last year by playing as a team, and
You're
they
right.
had the best player on the court. So it's always been a mix of both.
But
I
Giannis
don't
is
disagree.
special though. Giannis doesn't do that.
Yeah, you know what? I really hope he repeats. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you how hard I'm rooting for the Bucks. Not only do I have money on it, and that may be swaying my opinion this morning, but I really, really want to see him win back-to-back titles.
Yeah,
back-to-back
I would love
MVPs.
it. I wouldn't mind it.
Oh my
at
God,
all.
that would be the biggest FU to the. I mean, I can just go on with this: the Golden State Warriors, the Brooklyn Nets, the 76ers, the Boston Celtics back in the day, the Miami Heat back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
All these quote-unquote, I need to leave and join up, right? We need to go get another superstar. This dude's doing it with Chris Middleton, who's no scrub, by the way. He's definitely a star player.
Yeah.
But come on, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Come on. I love what Milwaukee's doing. I love the basketball they play. And honestly, that's the future I see for Detroit. Is K develops into that good of a superstar that you just need a really good number two, and then you figure out everything else. You need role players. You need guys that'll run the pick and roll, right? Guys that'll set screens, play good defense, hit the three occasionally. That's the team I see Detroit building, not this super team. We're going to have James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving at a certain time. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. But, Maddie, Tom Izzo. Tom Izzo became the winningest head coach in Big Ten history. Congratulations to Tom Izzo. 663 wins. Jeff.
Passing Bob Knight.
Bobby Knight.
It's impressive.
Where do Michigan and Michigan State go on from here? We'll get to Michigan beating Ohio State over the weekend a little later in the show. But what's next, right? Seeding. You have March Madness around the corner.
Yes.
What are we doing here?
Well, for both these teams, I think Michigan had the toughest task. But Michigan State beat Maryland. They got the job done. And now we're all wondering, with this team specifically, where do they go into the tournament? Because Michigan, I think, in my opinion, I think we can all mutually agree, with Michigan State, they're more of a win by community. They have a lot of guys that can get you double-digit points, but they don't have that dude on their team. And Michigan came out yesterday without Hunter Dickinson. They came out and still were able to win against a very tough team in Ohio State. Which, you saw Michigan Twitter posting about it. A way to end the season, beating Ohio State. It was the picture of Michigan beating Ohio State this year in the NCAA football, and then you had them beating them this year in NCAA basketball. But listen, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. They needed that win bad. They lost to Iowa. They came into Ohio State without Hunter Dickinson. They got the job done, very well done. They don't have Juwan Howard. Now he's back for the Big Ten tournament, the March Madness tournament. So with Michigan State, though, I think they're kind of getting corrected a little bit. They went through a rough stretch where they really lost, I think it was 3 out of the last 5. Then they won 2 out of the last 4. So they've been kind of shaky and up and down. But if they can get corrected, I have big confidence in Tom Izzo. He gets those guys ready to play in March. I mean, if you're telling me Michigan State made the Final Four, I'm not going to be surprised. Same with Michigan. I mean, they're good enough to do it. It's about can they do it. And if I had to bet on one of the either teams, I'm going to ride with State just because of how well coached they are, honestly.
Well, Michigan beat Ohio State to end the season. That was huge.
It was.
Michigan State beat Maryland. Very good win. Good to go into the Big Ten tournament, obviously, on winning terms. Now, Michigan State, who do they play on Thursday? Maryland. Again. And Michigan, I believe, play, Indiana.
Indiana, yep.
Indiana.
11:30 game.
11:30 in the morning?
Yep.
It's a weird game.
On Thursday.
I'm excited. Interesting. I'll try not to be distracted that morning. We'll see how it goes. But
you will be.
I'm glad both basketball teams were able to kind of win the last game of the season, go into the Big Ten tournament. Now they need to win a few just to secure, I would argue, better seeding. But I think both are in now. Is anyone going to disagree with that?
No,
Michigan beating Ohio State got them in. Michigan State, I believe, is at 20 wins. I think they're in.
They're good enough to be in.
So as long as they don't lose on Thursday, they're fine. They're in. And even if they lose on Thursday, they're probably getting in. So it was a good weekend for Michigan and Michigan State.
Who would you be more surprised about if who made it farther? Like
who made it
Michigan,
farther? Who would I be surprised, or who do I expect to make it farther?
We'll start with who do you expect? Who do you expect to make it farther in this year's tournament?
I'm going to expect Michigan to go farther.
They do have, more talent on paper.
I think they have more talent. I think Michigan State really are frustrating to watch. And look, Michigan's been frustrating to watch all season, don't get me wrong, but Michigan State just really plays some weird basketball. Like, it just makes me want to pull my hair out sometimes. And I think Izzo's done a really good job this year. Here they are. What do you know, in the tournament again? Mm-hmm. And you look at their team, and you're like, the hell you won 20 games? Seriously. With Michigan, they got the talent. They had the number 1 recruiting class coming into the season. I expect them to make a deeper run. Mm-hmm. But would I be surprised if Michigan State made a deeper run than Michigan? No, because of Tom Izzo. And I think he garners that respect, Jeff. So for me, the team I expect, Michigan. The team that wouldn't surprise me, definitely Michigan State.
I'd probably agree with you. Exactly there.
Michigan State's a team that always looks completely different at this point.
March.
Yeah. It's like, oh, now you decide to get it together? Okay, sure. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's just interesting because with State, they always turn up at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the Izzo way, right? Mm-hmm. But this year, it was different. It was a lot of frustrating basketball. It wasn't even, oh, damn, we lost a close game. It was, we'd blow a 12-point lead with 4 or 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
And everyone would look around like, well, how the hell did that happen?
Their play lacks confidence, if you will. They just kind of look like...
I think they lack talent.
I mean, I think, yeah, probably.
And they lack the toughness that a lot of these Izzo teams had. Like, they lack a lot of things, but that's why you got to give them credit for even being in the tournament this year. I mean, I think out of all the teams that are winning...
How confident are we in Juwan Howard coming back and maybe going on a run?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I don't think he really plays
What does that mean
too
for
much of a
Juwan
part.
Howard in Michigan if he comes in and let's say they get all the way to the Sweet 16?
I mean, that's
okay?
considering how the year ended. You
given
kinda,
the season, right?
Yeah, given how everything...
Is that the expectation, Michigan fans? Sweet 16?
Hell no.
Is it higher? Not with that team. Well, I'm asking expectations.
Maybe
going
before
into
the season,
tournament.
the number 1 recruiting class, probably high expectations. But as the season and how it's turned, I probably agree.
It was a pretty up and down season for Michigan and Michigan
no
State.
Juwan Howard for 5-6 games.
Michigan State got up all the way to 10th in the nation, and then fell off. Michigan has been started off number 6, fell off, and they've been off since. I don't know. Let's go to break, Maddie. When we get back, my favorite time of the week, Mock Draft Monday. Here we go. Oh my goodness, I am so excited for this. 9 o'clock right around the corner. Maddie, what do we got?
We have to talk about this sports marketing agency.
Yes, let me tell you about our friends at the Sports Marketing Agency, because SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health and substance use disorder. Now, with the help of NFL alumni Sean Jordan, has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. That's why, soon coming to Woodward Sports, the Sports Marketing Agency podcast called This is the F-Word series on fentanyl. If you are struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Please go to thesportsma.com and tell them your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Three NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on a 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Guys, Woodward Sports is sending you to New Orleans to see the college basketball finals. How exciting. If you listen to the shows on Monday through Friday, the Morning Woodward Show, of course, afternoons with Big D Energy, and Drive Time with The Bottom Line, you'll find out how to qualify. Adam, what is our qualifier this morning?
I want to know who you guys think the Lions should take number 2 overall. Put it in the chat who you believe the Lions should select number 2 overall, and Maddie will select the winner.
So basically, there's a right answer to this then.
No, there isn't.
Random.
No, there isn't. There's no right answer.
Yeah, but she's going to pick the player she wants at number 2.
No, she's going to pick the person. I mean, that's on Maddie. Listen, guys. I mean, I only control so much of what goes on here.
So
right?
if you know what player Maddie likes, you type it in and...
Well, nobody knows because she's never said who she likes at number 2.
So bam.
So it's a mystery.
People
Shut the hell up, Fish.
And they're not guessing what she likes, Fish. They're just saying it, and she'll pick. They're
People
Yeah,
know
don't guess who I like.
Yeah, just
Oh, man.
just say who you pick. It doesn't matter.
All right, well, let's get into it. I am so excited to share this draft with you. I'm not going to lie. I've been waiting since last night. I felt like a kid before Christmas.
I'm excited.
Oh, man. All right,
See
Jeff.
what happened.
Alex, if we could put it on the screen. I've got a beautiful surprise for all of you this morning. I traded the number 2 overall pick. I went back a few spots. I went to number 5.
Still got Aiden.
And I still got Aiden Hutchinson. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. What the hell is going on?
What the hell's going on?
I was able to trade back for the number 5 pick, and I was also able to trade the 2nd round pick and the 6th, 7th. I was able to move up in the 2nd. So I ended up having the 34th, the 37th, and the 40th overall pick in the 2nd rounds. I was able to get 3 third round picks, and then of course a nice 4th with Mitchell and Cook. But I'll go in order. Let's start with the edge rusher out of Michigan, Aiden Hutchinson. Jeff, what do you think?
I like it. At number 5,
Surprised,
but honestly,
my intention was not to take Aiden Hutchinson. That's why I traded back. Right?
Who was available at number 5? Aiden and.
Well, it was just Aiden.
Then,
really.
yeah,
I mean, that was the obvious
no-brainer,
answer.
No-brainer.
My concept was I wanted to trade back and not end up with Kayvon or Aiden. I traded back and I ended up with Aiden. It made no sense. It was really frustrating. But regardless of the point,
still got your
I traded back on the 32nd pick. Yes, the 5th-year option is very valuable to me, but I did trade it back. I was able to get the 40th pick and a later 3rd-round pick as well. Here we go, Jaquan Brisker, safety out of Penn State. I took him number 34.
Yeah.
Number 37, I addressed the linebacker position with Leo Chanel, linebacker out of Wisconsin, who I think is an absolute home run winner. And then who falls in my lap at number 40? I can't pass on him. Look, the linebacker position, guys, same with edge. You can't have enough of them.
No, you can't.
And Christian Harris was on the board. I'm not passing on Christian Harris.
Yeah, you might lose Alexander.
I was going to go for Cameron Thomas out of San Diego State. Obviously, a guy I'm a huge fan of. He was available at 40. But the idea of having those 2 linebackers I thought would be a huge help to the Detroit Lions. And, of course, I was able to walk away with an edge rusher at 66. A guy who I thought had an excellent combine, who wasn't getting talked enough, Josh Peshkel. Out of Kentucky, had a very good showing at the NFL Combine. And then, of course, number 69, the guy I expected to be there.
That's crazy value. Number 69, John Mechie.
The guy I expected to be there was John Mechie, and he was. Look, I'll be honest with you. If there's one thing I'm not comfortable with this draft is the lack of receivers I drafted. But you know what? I love what I've gotten so far. And now it gets interesting. Number 101, who was on the board I could not pass on?
Dalvin Cook's
Look,
little
I
brother.
understand the Lions have an offensive line that anybody can run behind. I understand they have Jamal Williams. I understand they have DeAndre Swift. But my God, in the 4th round, James Cook, high value for a running back. I could not pass on it.
No.
And a lot of my strategy is I'm trying to fill the Lions' needs right now, correct?
Yeah.
But I also have players on the board I can't pass up. I can't pass on a Christian Harris at 40. I can't pass on a Josh Pascal at 66, Mechie at 69. And really, I did most of my work here between the 2nd and 3rd rounds. 5 picks between rounds 2 and 3. And then we go to the safety at 110, a guy I think has tremendous value. Byron Cook out of Cincinnati. And then, of course, we top it off addressing a backup tight end, James Mitchell, who was less than impressive at the NFL Combine, but I thought he played very well. But, Jeff, Aiden Hutchinson at 5, Brisker at 34, Chanel at 37, Harris at 40. What are we thinking about this?
I like it. I mean, you win defense for the first 4, and I think that's a very realistic option for the Lions, especially who's going to be there in the depth in this draft. I like the back-to-back linebackers. You took a running back late, which, I don't mind at all, considering we do have Jamal Williams for 1 more year, but still. I mean, you're just getting depth. And you got the tight end James Mitchell late, 7th round. I mean, I think you got great value. And John Mechie, although you maybe didn't get the big outside receiver, you still got a receiver that fell to you in your lap because of injury. If he wasn't injured, Mechie would be early second-round pick? I love it. I think you got great value.
I got a lot of defensive players. This team needs help defensively. They need a wide receiver.
Yeah, 2 safeties, 2 linebackers.
2 safeties, 2 linebackers, 2 edge rushers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was kind of why I kind of hinted at it earlier. How do you feel about taking the same position twice in the first 4 picks? And that's what I did. I went edge, safety, linebacker, and then we went edge again, and then we went receiver, then running back, and then safety again. So you have depth at safety. You have depth at linebacker. You've gotten 2 edge rushers. I feel like it's a strong draft positionally. Now, whether you agree with the players or not, look, you can do your own mock draft. But what I'm trying to aim for is, am I addressing your positional needs? Am I getting value at the position I'm selecting? And to be honest with you, again, guys, my intention was not to select Aiden or Thibodeau. But God damn it, the guy was there at 5. What the hell you want me to do about it? Now, for the sake of argument, my draft strategy going into this mock was I wanted to fall back as low as 8, 9, or 10, and I wanted to select Devin Lloyd. That was my goal with this mock draft. I wanted to trade back to 5, Jeff. Then I wanted to trade with Denver. But Aiden at 5, you don't pass on.
Yeah, you don't.
So that kind of destroyed my plans there. I got to 32. I didn't love anybody at 32. The receivers were all taken. Jahan Dotson was taken. There was nobody available for me, at least wide receiver-wise. And that's where things kind of got interesting. Christian Watson was available to me at, I believe, 40. But I wanted the linebacker. I definitely wanted the linebacker. And I wasn't comfortable taking Christian Watson at 40. And I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's a very similar built player. So that was a difficult decision for me. And I knew I would be able to get Mechie. That was kind of the hack, right? I knew Mechie was falling to 69. I just knew it. And I knew come 3rd round he would be available. So I took advantage of that. But my whole concept with this draft was I actually wanted to trade back and get Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd is the guy I'm the highest on. I really wanted him. But God damn it, I ended up with Aiden Hutchinson. I didn't even want him.
Yeah. No brainer.
What the hell is he doing at 5? So, just to rework it a little bit, let's say I trade back to 9. Well, then I'm going to get the number 42 pick as well. And I'm getting a Devin Lloyd. I'm probably trading that 32 pick again. Not changing my mind. And then it's going Brisker, Chenal, Harris. And I can probably get a Christian Watson on top of a Pascal, Mechie, Cook, and Mitchell. That's a hell of a haul. I feel like I got a lot of value, Jeff. I really feel like this draft is, again, I took 2 at 3 different positions, right? I only need one of them to hit. I got 2 edge rushers. One of them needs to be a home run. I got 2 safeties. I expect the one I took higher to be a home run. I love the pick, man. Love the pick. Your final thoughts before we go.
I think the best part about specifically this draft, too, is you have that right to trade back and get multiple picks because there's so much depth in this draft, and you kind of showed why with those picks. You traded back, and although you don't have that 5th-year option, you still were able to find talented players and guys that can contribute right away. So I like the draft, and I'm excited because next Monday I will be doing trades. I will be spicing it up, but I did make some changes this week to my mock draft, so I'm excited to get to it.
Yeah, good. Look, again, like I went into this draft not expecting to take Aiden or an edge rusher at 5. I expected to get a linebacker at 8, 9, or 10.
It's like Penei Sewell. He fell to you.
He fell, and not only that, I wasn't planning on getting a running back, and there he was.
Right.
Like, how do you pass on James Cook? You don't. I didn't. You just don't. But let's go to a quick break. When we get back, I want to see Jeff's mock draft. I'm so excited for this, Maddie. Do we have a winner?
Almost. I'll tell you after the break.
All right, fine.
But before we go, we do need to hear about our friends at Lady Jane's.
Yes, well, guys, Lady Jane's, let's be honest, as you know, we broadcast this show live from the headquarters of Lady Jane's. I'm staring right at it right now, and it is definitely awesome to get off air and get myself looking great by one of their talented stylists. So me, Jeff, I recommend you get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men near you and let them treat you like a king, too. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. So, overall, get to Lady Jane's. 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Open in the corner, he triple.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. I put everybody's names that participated, which thank you for everyone for participation. We have a winner. It is Noah M. You are now qualified to possibly be going to New Orleans for the college basketball finals. But Jeff, it is now your turn to share your draft.
It is time. Alex, if you could put my draft up for me, I can walk you guys through this because my mindset doing this mock draft is last week I took Aiden Hutchinson with number 2. I didn't do any trades in the draft. I kind of want to take that same approach, but I want to change it up. So, Kayvon. Aiden actually went number 1. He went to Jacksonville. So it put me in a situation where I went Kayvon or Kyle Hamilton. And honestly, I almost took Kyle Hamilton, but I thought to myself...
I see a guy on there you brought up earlier who had a really good combine. I like it.
I did. Kayvon Thibodeau, took him at number 2. I know there's questions, and I didn't like... I want to get this out the way. Wasn't a fan of Kayvon coming out and saying, all right, I'm done with my draft combine. It's going to be a long day. I didn't really like that, but at the end of the day, he's so damn talented. So give me Kayvon at number 2. Number 32, Jaquan Brisker. Me and Adam think alike in that area. I think he's my favorite safety in this draft. Lewis Seen was there as well. So they're going to have their cream of the crop, who they want. And I took Jaquan Brisker. I think he's a talented safety. So give me Jaquan at 32. You get the 5th-year option on him, a guy that I think can immediately come in and contribute. And guess who fell to me at 34? Jahan Dotson. And I didn't think twice. I pulled the trigger. It was either him or David Bell, and I thought, listen, even though he doesn't fit the mold of what the Lions want as a big outside receiver, he's a guy that can come in immediately. You can maybe move him on outside. You can move him around. You have Jahan Dotson now that can play different positions. So give me Jahan Dotson at 34. I love the value. Fell to me in the early 2nd round, so no-brainer for me. I wanted to address the linebacker position as soon as possible, so that's why at number 66, Brian Asamoah from Oklahoma, a guy that, an athletic freak, a guy that I actually really like himself. And I thought to myself, Brian Asamoah, linebacker, we do need to address the position. So I took Brian Asamoah at 66, and the guy that I mentioned earlier, Amari Barno, edge, Virginia Tech, an athletic freak, a guy who ran the 40, I think the fastest 40 out of all the edge rushers. I think it was 4.3 something, 4.39. So easily had to go Amari Barno, address that edge rusher. So I got 2 edge rushers almost in the top 100 picks. Then, Jack Jones, number 175, a cornerback out of Arizona State, a guy that produced, gave a lot of effort. He had 3 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions this year. He is a senior, but they were able to still address that cornerback position and add more depth. And that's when I slid all the way to number 180. Jelani Woods fell to me. I'm just drafting freak after freak. Another 6'7", athletic, ran one of the quickest 40s, if not the fastest 40, I believe, out of all the tight ends, and someone that could come in and immediately be kind of a different option from T.J. Hockenson. You have T.J., your prototypical tight end, and then you had Jelani Woods right next to him, a big
You got
freak of nature.
insane value at 66. Just looking at this?
Yeah.
66, I think, is your best selection given value at the pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you got Brian Asamoah out of Oklahoma at 66 is a home run.
Yeah, I think it was Christian Harris. There's a couple guys.
Christian Harris fell to 66.
He did, which was weird. Yeah, it was very weird. I saw...
See, on your board, Jahan Dotson was available, never in mine. Not one time did he go past 32.
It's so weird how these work.
He was never available.
Yeah. It made no sense. So I took Brian Asamoah. I think my first 4 picks could be starters, so I like it. And then we go on. Listen, I want to explain the Charleston Rambo pick because I know a lot of people are like, what the hell? And I get it. Charleston Rambo, his combine numbers weren't very great. But it's someone that I thought in the 6th round, for a guy that was very productive at Miami.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing a 6th or 7th round pick.
Yeah, I know
traded
people
them all away.
And I get it. Like people, and Charleston Rambo, he has his questions. He's not the prototypical guy we want. He doesn't run a 4.3, but still a guy that it's kind of opposites. You have Jahan Dotson, a 5'10", 5'11" guy you can use in different ways. Found a guy 6'1" who I think could still contribute. And then obviously 7th round pick. I just wanted to take another linebacker. So give me Aaron Hansford out of Texas A&M. So I was able to dress 2 linebackers. I got 2 edge rushers. I got a tight end. Got a wide receiver, and still found a way to pick up 2 other wide receivers and a tight end. So I kind of got a little bit of everything. But the biggest thing I took from it is if Aiden Hutchinson goes number 1 for whatever reason, and the Jags decide screw protecting Trevor Lawrence, we're going edge rusher. I took Kayvon.
I'm not concerned with the 40 time at Dotson. Look, I think he's probably one of the smoothest route runners outside of Jamison Williams in the draft. Maybe Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson. I think they're all very good. I don't have an issue with that. I like Funky's comment. All 4 need to be starters. Real talk. The first 4 need to be starters. I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
I think picks 2, 32, 34, and 66 must be starters. Mm-hmm. I am with that mindset 100,000%.
And I want to say this too. I didn't pick guys because of their 40 time. I think the 40 time just is like icing on the cake. I think Jelani Woods is the best tight end. I mean, he's one of the best tight ends. So I pick him because he was there late in the draft, not because he ran the fastest 40. I think that's
if
a bonus.
Aiden's available at 2, you taking him?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, how do you feel about this notion, it is a question in the chat, that he's a one-move edge rusher?
I mean, listen, everyone can say what they want. I think the one-move edge rusher, the guy, it's production. And Aiden Hutchinson does it. You've seen his cone drill, excellent. I mean, the guy has elite skills. He has comparable combine stats to Bosa, the Bosa brothers. Like I don't know what people want from him. You can say and all you want, listen, he has one move. But in reality, the guy's going to be productive. I don't believe in any of that. Kayvon Thibodeau, there's questions about all these guys. Kayvon, work ethic, mindset. Does he want it enough? Does he have the motor that Aiden does? I mean, I don't really take too much consideration into, what people, all these critiques they have about Aiden Hutchinson. I'm good with it. I like him as a player. I watched him play. I think he's going to be a great player, so I ain't worried about it.
Yeah, look, I'm not. I think it's, we're nitpicking at this point.
Yeah.
One-move guy. Really? Now, can he get better at other edge rushing moves, whether it's finesse, power? Sure. He's a rookie going into the NFL. He'll be fine. And even with his current build, I think he's due for at least 8.5 sacks, 9 sacks, year 1. And then we can start talking about 11, 12. And maybe 14, 15, 16, year 3, where he becomes probably an all-pro. Because that's the projection you have to have as an edge rusher taking that high, in my opinion. I expect 35 to 40 sacks within the first 3 years. 8, 9.5, 10 sacks, maybe year 1. 10 would be great, but not a must. Year 2, you got to be in the double digits. And year 3, you kind of take that level of, all right, yeah, I'm starting to develop into one of the best players in the league. That's how it works, whether it's Kayvon or Aiden. And I think Aiden is the safer pick. And not safer in terms of, he's got more of a higher floor. No. I trust him more to reach his ceiling, Jeff, than Kayvon Thibodeau.
I would agree with you. And what bothered me most over the weekend is when Kayvon only ran the 40 and he did the bench press and he called it quits. He's like, I'm done for the day. I'm out. I think he mentioned something about it's going to be a long day. Like that stuff does kind of irk me. And maybe people think, well, maybe if he goes to the Lions, he goes to Dan Campbell, this culture will help change that. But again, like I'm taking, in my opinion, who I like, and it's Aiden Hutchinson. So I'm going with him every single time. You all can disagree. That's fine with me. But I'm sticking with Aiden. That's my guy. Kayvon, I'm still valuing the edge rusher. I could have took Kyle Hamilton, and honestly, it was hard not to. I sat there for like 10 minutes deciding. I just still went edge rusher. I went Kayvon Thibodeau. So
if you want to comp Aiden Hutchinson to TJ Watt, did I just say something ridiculous? In terms of asking 35 to 40 sacks from the number 2 overall pick?
No.
Am I asking for much?
No.
I don't think so, and I'm going to break down TJ Watt. 7 sacks year 1. I told you 8 to 9.5 sacks is kind of what I'd aim for. Not bad, pretty close. 13 sacks year 2, 14.5 year 3, where he became an all-pro player and a Pro Bowler. Yeah, that's reasonable expectations for the number 2 overall pick. And that's coming out of a kid who's taken number 30. Aiden Hutchinson should be able to deliver you 35 to 40 sacks. TJ Watt in the first 3 years gave you 36.5, I believe, in total.
Yeah.
Not bad. 35 to 40 should be the precedent, should be the mark. Hell, 32 to 38. If he's between those two numbers, you're happy. It means you hit on the pick. It means he's contributing to your defense. That should be the expectation, in my opinion, for the number 2 overall edge rusher if you do select him. And I want to switch a little bit, just a little bit, because after this, we got a special surprise for everybody at home. You guys all submitted your mock drafts over the weekend and really throughout all of last week.
Yes.
And we're going to showcase them on the show, obviously, in the next segment at 9:26, 9:27-ish. So in a few minutes. But Jeff, my question for you. But TJ didn't go second overall. Yes, Eric, that's the point. That's the point. This is the number 2 overall pick. I have high expectations of this player. I am getting the second best player from a given draft class. I expect him to produce in his first 3 years. Yes, I do. It's not a tall order. I'm not asking a lot. I'm just asking for you to be the player I selected number 2 overall. That's why Kyle Hamilton at number 2 doesn't make any sense. I don't care how good he is. He would not be able to deliver enough impact, even if he was an all-pro safety, to you winning football games. An edge rusher can. A quarterback can.
Right.
Protecting the quarterback can. Having a wide receiver can. And you guys are so caught up in this idea, Jeff, that you need size at wide receiver. Do you? You have size with TJ Hawkinson. That's your size. That's your size. The Chiefs have won a Super Bowl and have been to 2 with Tyreek Hill as their number 1. You don't need size, right? We fall in love with big, obvious things. You can build a scheme around, I don't know, the Kansas City model. You have a premier tight end, big. You have a speedy wide receiver. Now, it may not be Tyreek Hill speed, but a Jahan Dotson, right? One of those guys who can run really exceptional routes. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown emerging. And then next year, you may draft a quarterback. Kansas City. Where the Lions are actually good, but they have a quarterback sitting there waiting. And the Lions next year will have 2 first-round picks, or they'll be able to trade up into a top 10 position to get the quarterback they want. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Even if they're selecting at 18 and 32 or 18 and 24, they're going to be able to package those 2 picks with a future pick to go and get their guy, if they do choose to. And then they become like the Kansas City Chiefs model, where they can sit a guy for a year behind Jared Goff and then turn the switch on. We have a roster. We're ready to compete. Let's go for it. That is the Detroit Lions timetable, in my opinion.
I agree with you. And that's what I've been screaming about. Don't draft Malik Willis this year.
Yeah,
Easy. Unless he falls to you.
Easy says Kayvon Thibodeau is tanking his stock on purpose. Dude, no, because of the money involved. Because there's a big difference in money made from 1 to 10. And 2, okay, maybe he doesn't want to go to Jacksonville or Houston. But you think he falls past 3? You think he's going to a New York market? I don't think so. I don't. Whatever concerns you have with him, he's a hell of a talent. And it's going to be tough for a GM between 1 and 3 to pass on him. Now, what you can tell me is, Adam, Houston could trade back, and somebody who wants Kayvon enough could trade up and get him, sure. But I see Kayvon maybe falling to 4, 5 at worst. New York, the Jets are not passing on him, and neither are the Giants. So he's not going out of the top 5. So what do we mean by tanking his draft position? All right, wants Willis at number 2. I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm really not. Let's go to break. When we get back, we are going to share your mock drafts. We're going to evaluate them, give our own grades, our opinions on them. So get ready for that. But Maddie, before we go, what do we got?
We have to hear about our friends at Cintron.
Yes, well, I'm drinking it right now. Cintron, absolutely delicious. And Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at cintronworld.com, use the promo code RedWings10, and save 10% with shipping included. Remember, drink it, live it with Cintron.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, Joy.
It's Woodward Sports.
Well, guys, I know it might be only 9:28 in the morning, but don't lie to me. I know you want wings, and Wing Snob is here to help. Fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken, Wing Snob has the best traditional wings. Try out signature sauces, including Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. Wings are tossed in perfection to any sauce you choose. When the wings are as good as this, you're allowed to be a snob. Order now online at wingsnob.com. Wing Snob, we just have better wings. So we got a lot to get into.
Ooh. All right, fan reaction, fan mock drafts. I'm so excited for this. All of you at home that submitted your mock drafts, thank you so much. We're going to pull up a few. I believe I have 4 or 5 to go through. Alex, whenever you're ready, throw them up on screen. Jeff, I'm really excited for this because now it's not only what we believe or what we would do, we're going to also see what everybody listening in now is going to do or thinks they should do. And I do believe there is a mock draft that has Malik Willis going number 2 overall.
Can't wait to look at it.
I am nervous.
I cannot wait to look at it.
I don't know how I feel about Malik Willis at number 2, guys. It's just, I don't think it's the year for the Lions to go in a quarterback. I don't believe this is the draft class to go all in on. And you guys can say, well, no prospect is perfect. Of course not. But that is not the guy you take number 2 overall. Not when your defense has ranked anywhere from 28th to 32nd in terms of edge rushers. You don't have that right. You don't get to select a quarterback just because you feel like it.
Yeah.
Don't work like that. Oh, yeah, you know what? We'll draft a quarterback this year. Why not? Really? That's what you're going to play with me this morning? My goodness. I do agree this draft class is extremely deep, both at wide receiver and edge. But let's get started. Our first mock draft on the board. What do we got? Let's see. We got Aiden Hutchinson going number 4 overall.
Oh.
Okay, so they traded back. They received, I believe, the number 38 overall pick.
Wow.
Aiden Hutchinson, Christian Harris.
So they traded back, got another second-round pick. So they took John Dotson in the second.
This gets an F.
Jalen Petrie, Sam Howell.
This gets an F.
It's because you got Baker's little brother in there?
It's because Baker Mayfield 2.0 is on that board. God damn it. Why? You were doing so well.
Micah McFadden in the 6th.
Dude, look at this. Where the hell did you do this mock draft?
180. You got Micah McFadden.
I don't know. This is impossible.
Took a tackle. 7th round. Honestly, I really don't. Besides Sam Howell, I like his first 5-6 picks.
Oh, he crushed.
You take Sam Howell.
But why the hell is Sam Howell? Why? Why? I don't have to deal with this morning. I don't want to stress. I don't want to be stressed out.
Especially, I would have liked him to take a safety maybe at that spot, 34. There's probably a couple really good safeties, but Jalen Petrie, I like that. Jahan Dotson, Petrie's safety, you can play him.
I don't mind Petrie. I think the Jahan at 38. Great job. But you basically had 3 second-round picks, 34, 36, and 38. I mean, those were the best you could do at 34, 36, and 38. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
There had to have been a better position than Sam
I don't
Howell.
like it. This is from Nick Gunjak, by the way. Nick Gunjak. Thank you for the submission. I don't know how I feel, man. Why'd you take Sam Howell? Did you just do it to piss me off? I don't agree with it at all. Let's pull up the next one we got. This is from Max Smith, if we could.
I'll give that one a B. B+.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like the idea of trading back.
Yeah.
I thought he did okay.
I like it.
I'm not totally against it, but Sam Howell at 34, just, you know, I'm going to jump off the Ambassador Bridge. I can't.
Yeah,
Why?
that's tough.
You want to get 3 to 4 starters with those picks. Sam Howell's on the bench year 1.
And you don't even know if he's a starter.
And you don't even know if he's going to work out.
So-
Why not take a chance on, I don't know, building a team that can win you football games? How about we try that? Can we get the next one up, Alex?
Let's see it.
Jesus Christ. My head hurts. All right. This is from... Who's this from? I believe this is Jeff's. This is not it. That's Jeff's.
I was going to say, whoever did that, it's a pretty smart fellow.
Yeah, no, this is Jeff's mock earlier. That was a screenshot. Can we get the one from Max Smith? This is the one that starts with the number 11 overall pick. He traded back all the way to 11.
My guy, Max. He's making moves in there. I got to look at this.
I'm going to start with Max Smith before it goes up on screen. He traded back, guys, to the Washington Commanders at number... Fish, shut the hell up. He traded back to Washington at number 11. He got David Ojabo. David Ojabo, edge rusher from Michigan.
Interesting.
At number 11. And very interesting. I've never seen anyone do this.
Yeah.
It gets better. At number 19, he traded up from 32 to 19 to grab who do you think?
Malik Willis?
No.
I had the same answer.
Not Malik Willis. He traded up from 32 to 19 to get Drake London.
Wow.
Drake London, here it is now. David Ojabo at 11, trades the number 32 pick to get Drake London, trades back, gets the number 40
Still
pick.
gets Chad Muma.
And
Devonta Wyatt.
And Devontae Wyatt. So he's addressed the interior, he's addressed the edge, he's addressed a wide receiver, he's addressed linebacker, and then he gets a safety, Leon O'Neal Jr. out of...
We walked out of this draft with Drake London and Sky Moore. Like...
Along with a backup tight end, another secondary player. You know, again, the late picks I'm not too concerned with.
No.
But I don't mind it.
No. He got
but to be honest with you, I walk away feeling like...
It's 5 starters right there, I think.
Is it? I walk away feeling like 2 of them will hit and out of the 5. That's questionable.
I would probably...
David Ojabo reminds me a lot of Ezekiel Ansah in terms of raw talent coming out. I really think he has a high ceiling. Now, does he develop that high ceiling? Who knows? But you get him at 11, so you're not too upset. But
yeah,
to be Detroit and to trade all the way back to 11, I mean, Max, I'm assuming you got a bunch of draft capital later on, which equates to next season, right? That's the only way because I only have... I don't know how I feel about this.
He could legitimately, David Ojabo, I mean, Drake London, Chad Muma, I would be expecting he would be a starting linebacker in the NFL. So
I think he's got a lot of players, man. I think his first 6 picks are home runs, but...
Home runs.
Damn. It's a good haul out. Max, honestly, good job, dude.
I got to give him credit for his being able to trade back to 11 and still find guys like that and still find value and depth, man. Good job, Max. You killed it.
All right, we got one more.
I'll give you an A.
Could we get this one up? Whoever wants to claim it, please do. A name was not attached to when it was submitted. This was done on the Draft Network, right? Not PFF. This was done on the Draft Network. Aiden Hutchinson, number 2. So this guy didn't make any trades.
Okay,
Jeff?
something different.
So we can probably compare him to you more than myself. He took Aiden, number 2. Jahan Dotson, 32, just like you did.
Yeah.
He took DeMarvin Leal, edge rusher, or excuse me, interior lineman out of Texas A&M at number 34. Took Brian Asamoah, similar to you, at 66. Quay Walker, linebacker out of Georgia.
I got one problem with this.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Do you know what problem I have with this draft?
No.
Actually, I like it. I never mind. I didn't see it.
I have a problem with it. I don't like taking Quay Walker at 97. You could have got, in my opinion, a Nick Cross. You could have addressed the safety position much earlier.
Yes.
I don't like this at all. I like the first 4. I don't mind it. But number 97 kills me 176 to 239.
It's
not
tough.
much action.
Yeah.
It's tough. That's a tough one.
I like his first 4.
I'm going to give it a B minus.
I would agree with you.
I'll give it a B minus, C plus. I'm not sure. I'm not in love with it.
Found a couple starters.
Max gets an A plus, I believe.
Yeah.
Max Smith definitely gets an A plus. I think he did a good job of balancing getting premier players with high upside and also addressing the need for starters. You guys did good. You guys did really good. Give yourselves a round of applause. Look, for next Monday, F it. Let's make this a reoccurring thing. Let's do this as often as possible. Maybe we'll do it every day. Maybe not every day.
Keep tagging us on Twitter.
But you know what? Let's revisit fan mock drafts on Wednesday. I'll give you guys Tuesday. Submit all your mock drafts on Tuesday. Let's do Wednesday and Friday mocks. I want to see what you guys think more and more. And it would be easier if you submit them via screenshot on social media. Or, Maddie, if you could put my email or your email in the chat, you guys can email them to us at Woodward Sports. I really have no issue with it. Definitely want screenshots. Make sure you attach your name. That way I can give you credit for it. But not bad. Not bad. You can send them to Adham at woodwardsports.com. Maddie, I'll throw it in. Jeff, could you actually throw in my email and yours? Maddie, you can throw in yours. I don't care where you submit them. You can tweet us on Twitter, probably the easiest way. Just take a screenshot, tweet it, and tag me and Jeff in it. That'd be cool. That's the best way you guys can get this to submit. But anybody who drafts a quarterback, I'm going to want to punch you in the face. So I love you too. Thanks for a fun segment. That was actually fun. I really enjoyed it. It's interesting to see what other people do, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think my own way, right? I have my own way of, coming up with how I evaluate a player, what my preference is, what I believe the Lions need. And Jeff does it differently, and Maddie does, and everyone does. And I think that's really cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Maddie, let's go to break. When we get back. When we go. God, I'm losing my mind. When we come back, got to go around the NFL, around the NBA. A lot of news circulating, right? We gotta catch up with the world, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get back, we'll catch up. What's going on in Detroit? What's going on in the world? Fish is probably gonna kill me after this. Maddie?
Yeah, people don't want to know what we talk about when we go. But before we go, we do need to hear about Guardian Alarm.
Guys, I get it. Kayvon Thibodeau, he has a lot of question marks. But Guardian Alarm doesn't have any question marks because they get it. Good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Not only that, Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features, lets you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, even detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. You heard Fish. That's 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Greg Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff, we want to talk about the NBA MVP, please.
Yes. Well, right now, and I listen, the Joel Embiid has been the MVP for, majority of the season. He's been the most dominant player. They had the number one seed. Obviously, the Heat do now, but the 76ers were winning. My only thing and problem with that now is Joel Embiid got James Harden, and there's still plenty of games left. And James Harden, I think, since he's been in Philadelphia, He's given him 10 assists and like 27 points. So it's hard for me, and he's going to keep that up till the end of the season. So it's hard for me to justify, you're looking at the totality of the season. And it's hard for me to look at Joel Embiid and say, you're the MVP when he got a former MVP on his team right now, balling and just getting them to play even better basketball. So with that being said, I think my MVP as of right now, I'm going to have to give it to either Giannis or Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, record-wise, is going to end up hurting him. I think if you're looking at the definition of MVP, it's Nikola, considering who's around him. But if we're looking at record and everything into consideration, just pure dominance, you got to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because, listen, the Bucks right now in the East, they're 3 games out of the number 1 spot. And if you look at the team and how they're performing, Giannis, by far, I mean, you have Chris Middleton, you have Drew Holiday, but still, like, he is the guy, and you saw it last year. Let him do an NBA championship. But Nikola Jokic, as much as I love and respect the man, and he's doing the most with the littlest, or the least, rather, I think Giannis, as far as dominant he is, Adam, including the record, everything into consideration, you can't deny the man. I mean, they're obviously 6-4 over the last 10. They got to play a little better, but still, he's dominating. And I don't care if he's won 2 MVPs already. I think he'd be a great consideration, him or Nikola. I just can't buy the Joel Embiid thing right now. I don't know why. Just can't get out.
Why?
Just because I think having James discredits him a little bit.
But he's only had him for 3 games, right? And he's been the guy
he's
that
gonna
played
have him
all season without Ben Simmons. I don't know how you hold that against
But
him.
I don't want to give a guy MVP for 50 games, 60 games. I got to give him...
Well, yeah, but, I mean, he's going to finish down the stretch playing 27 and 12 every night, basically.
Well, the other night, he didn't. I don't think he got any free throws, and he only had like 10 points. But
I know,
but I get what you're saying. I get he's been dominant, but it's hard for me to
Does
say...
DeMar DeRozan get any love?
Not how the Bulls are looking. I mean, ever since they lost Lonzo and Alex Caruso, they're losing. So it's hard for me. And I love DeRozan a whole lot, man. He's a baller, but it's tough. It's tough. They got to win. Bulls got to keep winning. They're playing well. I think now they dropped to the 4th seed, so they were 2nd. It's hard for me to justify DeMar.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's Embiid, and I don't think it's close. I think the only one really probably trying to catch him is Giannis, maybe. But your best option, in my opinion, right now, has got to be Joel Embiid. I don't think it's even an argument because he's carried that team without Ben Simmons all year. I don't know how we're having a conversation that I think he's the clear front runner. It would take him really a monumental collapse for him to lose it. I think it's his to lose.
I don't know about his to lose. I think he's been dominant, and I think he deserves to be the favorite. But again, like I look at MVP, and I get it. Joel Embiid and James Harden don't know the exact amount of games they've been together, but they still have 25 games left. So he's going to be – that would be – James Harden was there for about quarter of the season, or 1/3 of the season, rather. And with James Harden – he's balling. He's playing even better than he did for the Brooklyn Nets. So he's been leading them the way, and I get Joel Embiid. I'm not going to discredit what he's done before without Ben Simmons, but I'm taking the entire NBA season. And I think, in my opinion, Giannis and Nikola. I mean, those guys have done more, or not more, I should say, because they have less of a record, but almost just as much with less. So I think that's what MVP is to me. But again,
Joel spent the whole season with less, though, right? I mean, I'm trying to get it. Look, Jokic is first in PER. Second is Giannis, and third is Joel, and I'm okay with that. But we're talking literally a point difference, 1 whole point. Jokic is at 32.4, Embiid's at 31.4. I mean, we're not far off here. These guys are all, I think, the clear 3 front runners, right? I think they're the 3 you have to talk about. But Joel really put the team on his back without Ben Simmons. I don't know. He leads the league in scoring, 8th in rebounds. Still averages 4.5 assists a game. Guy's a hell of a player. John Morant, maybe if you want to add him into the list, maybe. But I've kind of seen that before play out. He's basically like a really hyper-athletic Derrick Rose right now. It's kind of his game.
Yeah, Ja's underrated, man, for MVP candidate. Because talk about doing more with less.
Yeah, but
still.
Is he, though? Because Brandon Clark...
But still, like those guys.
Yeah, but he's got a top 12 PER rating. I know how much you want to take. But still, it identifies the value of somebody on the court, right?
Yeah.
It's a good metric, I believe. It's not the only metric, but it's a good representation of your value.
Mm-hmm.
And there is nobody further in terms of having a teammate, in terms of PER, pre-James Harden going to the Philadelphia 76ers than Joel Embiid. Nobody played with less than Joel. for the majority of the year, I don't know if I want to punish him just because James Harden showed up in the last 25, 30 games they're going to play together. I don't know. We have a lot of basketball left.
Yes.
Right? So it'll be decided then. Jokic, obviously, the reigning MVP. 46-point triple-double the other night.
It's ridiculous.
Phenomenal, but for me, I think Embiid. I really do believe Joel Embiid, for me at least. If we're voting, I'm going to put Embiid, Giannis, and then Jokic. That's my order.
Yeah, I respect it. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. I just have different reasons why I would go Jokic or Giannis. Those are my two guys. Pick who you want. Embiid, I'm not going to get too much of an argument, but I already said my piece. That's why I wouldn't really lean Embiid, but I get it. You got to respect what he's done through 50 games, but I think James through the next 25 will show you how much value he has on that team. That's all I got to say.
All right. I want to shift gears a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, you brought him up to me during the break.
Oh, God.
Latest with Aaron Rodgers, what the hell's going on?
I know Pittsburgh, Denver, and I believe one other team already has trade packages ready for Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't gave a decision, and that's what Brian Gutekunst has came out and said. I would like him to give a decision before the free agency period, but again, Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't even know what he wants. He's still torn, and now what? We're about 2 months after, or about a month now after the Super Bowl, and we're still talking about Aaron Rodgers and where he's going. And if he wants to retire or stay in Green Bay. I mean, it is getting frustrating. I'm a Lions fan. I could care less. If he leaves Green Bay, I'm happy. I'm good with it. But again, for the Packers' sake and having to deal with that situation and the uncertainty of what he's doing, I know he's not threatening to retire, but it is kind of sounds a little bit like Brett Favre to me. And he can't make up his mind. And again, you saw the reports about he wants to be the highest paid quarterback. I don't know if I believe too much of it because he wants Devontae Adams back. So if he wants, the biggest thing for me is what the Packers do today, because the franchise tag deadline ends today. So whether they tag Devontae Adams or they sign him, we're going to find out later on. So I think that'll do a lot and dictate a lot what Aaron does. And maybe that's why he's been holding off for so long. He wants to see what they do with Devontae Adams. But again, I mean, this guy needs to make a decision. Love you, Aaron, but goddamn, you got to make a decision. I mean, you can't keep waiting around and keeping the Packers on their back foot. So sooner or later, we'll find out. But if I had to make a guess, I think he stays at this point. I mean, he's kind of walked around the bush for too long. I think he stays in Green Bay. If he were to leave, I still think Denver's the best option for him. But again, at this point, he ain't leaving. He's been dancing for too long, Adam. He's staying in Green Bay. That's my opinion on it.
All right, well, let's go to break. When we get back, mailbag time. Everybody get your questions in the chat. Jeff will tell you how. Call in if you want, 313-552-6322, or just leave your questions in the YouTube comment section. We appreciate it. We'll get to mailbag right after the break. But before we go, I got to tell you about Gypsy Vodka. Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest, best-tasting vodka on the market. Gypsy Vodka is Michigan's vodka, gluten-free, locally owned and operated, which I very much appreciate. Up in Petoskey, Michigan, guys. Support our local family. Give them some love. Ask for the bottle by the name of Gypsy. And as always, please do drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down!
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires. It hits!
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it!
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Syntron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over! Anything can happen in March!
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Everybody, mailbag time. Time to close the show on a strong note. Let's start with the questions. Jeff, how badly do the Wings need a new goalie? Gryson Nedeljkovic, I'm not sure if it smells that way. Bring me pain. Look, Nedeljkovic has been struggling for a few games. It's not the end of the world. This is also the guy that, for a majority of the season, was top 5 in the NHL in goals allowed per game, save percentage. Okay, let's cut him a break, okay? Let's not overreact here. Nedeljkovic will be fine. You also have to remember he is a rookie.
Rookie. There you go.
So I have no problems with that.
Pistons fan, look at this one. With Dave Burkett reporting that the Lions will be very aggressive in the free agency wide receiver market, who is your top pick? Would you prefer one of the free agent wideouts or a trade for Calvin Ridley? Listen, I did see the Calvin Ridley news. People saying that he could go for a second-round pick or whatever it may be. I'm kind of in the camp of, and I don't mind if they sign a wide receiver. Our problem is how much are you spending on a wide receiver?
When we're talking premier wide receivers, there's only 3.
What, Amari Cooper?
Well, he hasn't been released yet, so I don't really consider
so
him.
Calvin
So Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams, who's not going to Detroit, and Allen Robinson.
You ain't paying him.
Allen Robinson basically is what you're telling me the Detroit Lions are all in on.
I wonder how much he would ask.
Because they're not going to go all in on Chris Godwin, who's coming off an ACL injury.
No.
Unless they're able to get him for a discount deal, but guys.
Honestly, Allen Robinson, I don't mind
It's got to be Allen Robinson if that story. And Dave Burkett, I think, is pretty reliable as hell, actually. He's one of the best. If that's true, it's got to be Allen Robinson. I think he fits maybe the time frame you're looking at. Maybe you sign him to a 3-year deal, a 4-year deal. 4 would be a lot. I think it should be 3 years with a team option.
Yeah.
That's very team friendly. That's the only way I see it working out. There's no way in hell it's Devontae Adams or Chris Godwin. So that would be the only explanation for me, Jeff.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Allen Robinson out of those 3. Just because of fit, price, everything. Give me Allen Robinson. What else we got?
Let's see. Also, am I allowed to email you guys my explanation for the draft? Yes, Max, be our guest. I'll actually print that out and read it back for everybody on the show.
Oh, look at this question. J.J. McCarthy had shoulder surgery. Will be out till July, August. Does that close the book on the quarterback battle in Ann Arbor?
No, it doesn't. As long as I'm alive. Yeah. There will be no quarterback battle. I will kidnap Cade McNamara and make sure J.J. McCarthy is the starting quarterback.
You won't actually.
Yes, I will. I'm not joking.
You have such a
I am
serious
not
look on your
dealing
face.
with a Michigan team that's going to be worse on defense.
Yeah.
That's going to actually get a little bit more dynamic on offense. And I'm going to have to sit there and watch Cade throw 5-yard underneath routes the whole time. Get the hell out of here,
And
man.
I want to ask you about this because honestly, I'm surprised we haven't talked about this. The Commanders called about Goff. What do the Lions ask for in return? Young or...
They can't trade him. It's such a big cap hit right now.
Well, yes, it is.
And even after June 1st, I mean, it's still enough of a cap hit where you're like, is it worth it? What are they giving you? The number 11 pick and the next... Like, are they going to give up a first-round pick and maybe a second or third? I don't think so.
And they don't have a plan for quarterback, so...
I think they should draft Malik Willis at 11. I think he'll fall. I think he'll be there. I think Washington should go all in on Malik Willis. Good for them. I hope their franchise goes to hell. Seriously.
No, yeah, you're right.
I'm going to type in where they can submit their mock drafts. Can you read another question, please?
Yes. Let me see what else questions we got. Man, everyone's just having discussions about the... Do you notice the double clutch every time Malik Willis throws the ball? He taps it with his offhand.
Yeah, look, I mean, he has a slow release. That is a problem. That is a problem. It can be worked on, but it just depends on a team falling in love. Funky, holy hell, Funky. Now we're talking. Wait, why would you would take Leal, number 9 overall, and you still get Lloyd at 15. See, I would swap that order, but I don't really care at this point. 32, you're getting Devontae Walker, edge rusher. Safety sign out of Georgia. Pickens, another. You got 3 Georgia players so far.
And you still got
Desmond Ritter at 51.
Watson.
I don't mind it. Christian Watson at 66. Brian Asamoah at 98.
Funky.
Brian Cook at... Funky, you win.
You aced the test.
Where'd you do this? What drug website?
McFadden in the 6th.
Funky, you crushed it. That's the best draft I've seen.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
That's excellent.
Yeah, look, guys, Pistons fan, I'm with you. If the reports are true, Flowers has gone, but I believe he's already gone. There is no way in hell you can convince me with this edge rushing class coming out, the Lions aren't taking at least 2 edge rushers throughout the entirety of the draft. They're going all in. They'll sign Charles Harris. They'll cut Trey Flowers. End of story. You can even choose not to sign Charles Harris, and then you have a Quaro coming back. But you're gonna want Harris. He was extremely productive. What, 7.5 sacks?
Yeah.
Guy was a good player for your team this year. I don't see a reason not to keep him. Do you think the Pistons are going to give Grant $112 million with the way him, Cade, and Bay are playing? No. I just don't see the. Do you see them winning a chip with Jeremy Grant as a second or third option? I don't. And By the time Cade enters his prime,
Jeremy
will be out of the league.
Yeah.
So what are you paying him for? That's my question. And again, you were going to have a lottery pick. That kind of matters. If you end up with a Jabari, what do you do?
You're gonna have to make a decision quick.
If you cut Flowers, add $10 million to that rookie pick. Yep, you save. I believe it's $8.5 million, close to 10, but I think it's 8.5 is the exact number of how much they save when they cut Flowers post June 1st. Trade Goff, get Heineke, please God no. That's a good mock. Just calling to get an idea if we're gonna get a quarterback. Look, honestly, the Commanders. We'll see. I think they're in a good position at 11 to walk away with a Matt Corral.
They might have a pick
Malik Willis.
They might have pick out of all of them. They might even have Kenny Pickett.
They may be the first team to pick.
Yeah.
They really very well may be.
If the
Let's see.
Panthers
Any
don't.
more questions before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen? What else do we have, Jeff? Do I need to email y'all about being qualified for the NCAA? Yes, Fish. Could you tell him and put in the chat where I'll type it. Tell him where to put it.
I love March Madness 2022 at gmail.com. Pretty simple.
I love March Madness 2022 at gmail.com.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
cool.
Pretty simple.
I just hacked into DMAC's account and I just posted it.
Jack asked, you guys doing an office March Madness pool? Also, are you guys going to talk about the conference tourney later this week? Yes, we are. Absolutely. It would be wrong if we did.
We got to figure out that because the fantasy football draft went a little crazy.
Yeah.
So someone's got to set that up. It's
was
going to be a
complete-
last-minute thing again, I guarantee it.
It was a complete crap show, Fish, especially with the that fantasy football. It was all over the place. Alex, I still love you though.
Well, who wants to be? Do you want to be commissioner? Who wants to be?
No, I don't want all that pressure.
I'm talking March Madness because technically there has to be a commissioner.
Either
for
one,
March.
I'm good. I'll let someone else deal with all of it. I'll just kind of slide in and do my thing. Who admits a crime? Very true, Luke. Very true. Grant needs to realize a good team doesn't have a Grant as their number one scorer. Exactly. That's how we feel about Grant. I think Adam made a great point. As much as I love Jeremy Grant and they are playing better basketball, you do have questions because when Cade does hit that point in his career where you're like, all right, this guy's the real deal if you already haven't seen it already, Jeremy Grant's going to be damn near 30 years old. What is he, 28 right now? I don't see them signing him to another $100 million contract. I like Jeremy, but I think he's a piece, not the focal point. So that's kind of where I am at Jeremy Grant. We'll see what they do in the offseason. What's your expectations on Levi? For me, he has to stay healthy. I think you're absolutely correct. With Levi, I had not extremely high expectations for him, but this is a guy that was rumored the Lions were trying to look to trade up for in the first round, and then John Dorsey kind of put the nail in it and said, just hold on, he'll fall to you. They were able to still get Levi, and that's a guy that I think can still develop into a good defensive lineman, but a little shaky right now. What else do we got? Man, these questions are kind of dying down. Well, guys, it is almost that time. We do have 1 minute left. Can someone get a question in before we go? Let's see here. All right. What is your... Who would be your ideal role players around Cade? Well, shooting, number one. That's number one. I mean, you need a two-guard. Whether it's in the draft this year or you address it in the free agency, you need a two-guard. You need size. Again, you need a center. You need a lot of things on this team. You need size. You need shooting. Whether that's Chet Holmgren, who does all those things, whether it's Jabari Smith, who does all those things, we'll see. But I think they'll be able to fix their holes in the draft, in free agency. So I'm confident in it, and I'm excited for it. But guys, thank you for tuning in. It has been a great show, honestly. Thank you to all 451 of you. It was exciting. Mock Draft Monday. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new show. A lot going on tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Morning Woodward Show with the whole crew. I'll talk to you later.